Tell me about the driving side of things. What did you drive?
A hire truck.
Can you describe the hire truck for me?
3-tonner from Network Hire.
A 3-tonner from Network?
Yeah.
Okay.
With a hydraulic lift at the back platform.
And so you drove that vehicle?
I drove the vehicle.
And exactly where did you drive Brian to?
The civil aviation area, and I overshot it a bit. So we ended up at the end of that cul-de-sac.
Okay.
It leads to, I can't remember the building beside it, but it's on the other side of the building, which is the flying ambulance service.
Right.
Parked it there, assisted Brian unload the bike, then off he rode. And so fast I had to run after him with the camera. He shot off down the road.
Well, tell me about the photographs as well. You said you photographed him launching himself onto the airport ground. And you just mentioned a camera. What sort of camera is it?
It was a Coolpix, Nikon Coolpix, not a very sophisticated camera. And I took a number of shots of him cutting the bolt at a distance, and I got closer, and then him charging off across the airfield.
Before him cutting the bolt, as you said?
Well, there were photographs of him. I took photographs of him in the van sitting on the bike.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you talk about cutting the bolt, what are you talking about?
And bolt cutters, red-handled bolt cutters.
Mm-hmm. But what was he cutting?
He was cutting a chain on the fence.
Okay.
Very dramatic, because he got, when he went to cut it, I noticed that rather than cutting one side of the link at a time, he'd got both sides of the link in the thing. So that meant twice the cutting thing. And he's pressing against it, pushing it, and one handle against the fence, pushing with his chest against it. And I thought, he's never going to do it. It's not going to work. And then, ping! It broke, and the chain fell away, and the gate opened.
With my hammer I break the chain.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mark.
It was like, one of those dramatic moments, the way was clear, the gate was open.
When Brian was at the gate, did you notice any signs up on the gate?
No.
Particularly to do with, it being a restricted area and persons not being able to enter?
No, it just looked like an ordinary gate to me.
Okay.
Like my gate.
All right. We'll focus on that sort of thing to start with. Do you know who owns the gate or who owns the chain around the gate?
No, but I heard you say it was the Rockhampton Regional Council.
Okay, so all jokes aside, Graeme, can I ask you that question again? Did anyone from the council give you guys, or give Brian or yourself any permission or authority to damage that chain?
No.
Or to break that chain?
No.
Okay.
I should make clear that I call my vehicle peacebus.com because it's also a website, and I keep a regular blog. I see myself as a documenter of social change movements in my time, which is why I want the camera back and the images. I want to post them to the website so lots of people can see the courage of Brian Rule.
All right, we'll talk about that. I understand your movement and where you would like the photographs to end up, but is that the only reason that you took the photographs?
Yeah. So there would be a record of this action.
Did Brian ask you to take photographs?
No, I never discussed it with him.
Okay.
I have a camera, I take photographs all the time. And the other photographs that are on the camera I want back are the photographs of Auntie, who's a Durumble elder who's ill in hospital at present on chemotherapy. And there's photographs of her sitting with Brian on her hospital bed, which are significant to me.
Okay. And I know you said things to Brian when he had trouble cutting the chain. What about when he's entering the grounds? Did you say anything to him then as he was riding off?
Godspeed.
That's what you said to him, Godspeed?
No, I don't think it ever felt under it, but that's what I was thinking. Okay. Godspeed. And it was such a magnificent... I mean, all the people that come out of the Flying Doctors that were gathered around there, and he was kind of inviolable, There was something divine about the mission. He just went straight through them. No, they were milling around, not knowing how to respond. And off he took. So that's why I think, Godspeed, God bless.
Aside from yourself, was there anyone else there recording the incident?
Yeah, Channel Win TV. Kent, good man.
What was he doing?
He was his eye on the camera, getting it all, and you saw it on the news last night, of course.
Okay, so he was actually filming it rather than photography like you were doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're getting still shots.
All right. Did he film you at all?
I presume so. I was in shot.
Okay. Now, when Brian's entering the tarmac, you previously discussed the ploughshares action. Did you know what he was going to do?
What Brian was going to do? He was going to hit, yes, he told the Morning Bulletin was on the front page.
I understand
He was going to
yeah.
get a helicopter and hammer it. Yes.
Yeah, you mentioned a Matic before.
Yes.
Can you describe Matic to me?
He had it in the tray of the tricycle, and it was an old Matic, garden Matic, standard garden variety size, well used. Because previously when he talked about doing this action, it was going to be an engraved Matic. It was going to have this symbolic value. It would be an artefact in the court would be presented, and there would be a slogan on it saying, beat ploughshares, swords into ploughshares or something. In the end, it turned out to be a very ordinary Matic.
Whose is it?
I have no idea.
Okay. So when Brian was riding across the tarmac in his bike, or trike, I think he calls it.
Peace trike.
Peace trike, in the peace trike. What did you do?
Well, first he was out of range for my cameras. I started making telephone calls.
Mm-hmm.
Took a couple of shots, I think, of him scooting across the tarmac, but then turned to making telephone calls.
Okay. Did you enter the airport grounds at all?
No.
Okay. And could you see, I know your camera was out of range, but could you see what Brian did?
No, I couldn't see it very clearly.
Okay.
I didn't know until I didn't get it confirmed until I heard the news last night that he actually got to the helicopter. I saw him got near it. I didn't know he laid a blow on it until I heard the news last night.
All right. Well, if you weren't able to see what Brian was doing from where you were, tell me about what you did.
I went facing the gate. I went to the left-hand side and started making telephone calls, standing on beside the veranda of general aviation, or whatever it's called, civil aviation there. And I made a series of calls. First to, as I said before, to Kerry Duffy. Second to the ABC radio. Third to Channel 7 television. And, it might have been third to Chris Ison from the Morning Bulletin to let him know it was on. These were short calls.
Yep. After the phone calls?
I picked up, I saw, when Byron had gone through the gate, when he cut the chain, climbed on he cast the bolt cutters aside. And as I was leaving, I $170 worth of bolt cutters, I'm taking it with me. Because my intention was to get back to the courthouse with the flags and banners for the courthouse action.
Okay.
Yeah. And I kind of got delayed with the photography. And when I got back to the van, because of the confusion of the building, it was all open, the back door and the hydraulic lift was down, the front door was open, so I had to pack it all up and didn't get away in time. I was not trying to evade the police, I was moving towards them.
Okay. Well, tell me about that. You didn't get away in time. What happened?
I got down the road, to Karuna Road, opposite the gates of Western Street Barracks, and a police officer coming the other direction, the car coming, signalled me to stop. Mm-hmm. Turned around, followed me, had his lights flashing, so I pulled over. And there I was arrested and held in the back of the paddy wagon for 2 hours, chanting. Wonderful echo chamber in the back of those paddy wagons. The ohms sound great.
And after that?
I was taken to the watch house here, in process, and forced to listen to television.